What's up, dudes and dudettes of the internet? My name's Scythe, and we are back again for another Hexit video. But this is going to be the last. How y'all doing, folks? My name's Scythe, and yeah, needless to say, everybody, after the first video I ended up making of the Hexit server, I'm hopping around in creative mode because, yeah, things ended up going very, very downhill very quickly with the Hexit server here, and personally speaking, I've had my fun with it. I'm not finding, like, I barely logged into this game since that last video I ended up making. That was kind of like cluing you all in on what I'd been up to, and I had a whole bunch of stories because of it and stuff like that, and now it's getting to the point where it's summer, lots of different games are being released that I want to cover, and I just don't have the time for more recreational stuff like logging into the server and messing around. So I wanted to give you a couple more stories before we end up waving goodbye to the server, to never to be seen again until maybe sometime in the future when I end up making another Minecraft series or something. But honestly, I don't know. So down here, this is the town that I started the first Hexit video on. This is where my base is. Everybody already knows where it is somehow. Inside that shed, there's a little trap door that goes into my base, yada, yada, yada. I ended up putting a bunch of rainbow trees out here that are from the Twilight because, I mean, look at them. They're just beautiful. We also, I cleared out the rest of the village that was around here, kind of terraformed the area, although you wouldn't think so. Like, there was huge pits and huge hills and stuff all over the place, and I just cleaned all those up because I thought, I want to make the environment around my home nice and clear, you know? Put a bunch of gravestones. We also have right here, this is kind of like the chocobo cage area where we've got, like, I've got Jub Jub, and although you can barely tell, he's actually a gold chocobo, which is the best type. I didn't even know that you could breed these suckers, but Critter as I call him, ended up getting really into the chocobo breeding aspect of the mod, so he's been going crazy with that, and he ended up getting gold chocobos, and then I ended up kind of leeching off of him and made my own gold chocobo. By the way, the reason that we're jumping so high is we're actually wearing the cloud boots right now, which, even though I like running around super duper fast from the Thief Armor boots, Thief Armor boost, I should say, yeah, that's okay. It doesn't really matter because jumping around is a little bit more convenient. So down here in the mob farm, lots of people kept saying how they wanted to re-optimize my farm, and although I'm perfectly fine with stuff like that, oh man, without night vision it's dark, I've always been very particular about those types of things. Like, you know, I kind of view this as, this is my place, don't touch it, right? And the idea of people tinkering and going through my mob system is kind of like, you know, I'm fine with a better mob system, but it's like, make it somewhere else, you know? And that's just kind of what's been happening more and more and more, is people just kind of not giving the proper amount of respect to boundaries, I guess I should say, which is fine. You know, Minecraft servers are crazy like that anyways. I'm just trying to make a point. Not much has changed down here outside of my room being completely griefed. Nothing was stolen or anything like that, but we've got a couple cobblestone that I could easily clean up. I just don't care. And somebody ended up setting up a nice little trap here and thought that they could catch me, huh? This actually goes down to bedrock, and there is so many gravestones down here that I guess people kept fighting or being knocked down there, or maybe they were respawning there and constantly falling over and over again. I don't know, that's okay, whatever. Oh, and just for fun, I ended up switching over to the, even though it's called an iron big sword, it's actually a diamond big sword. Not the same as a giant sword. This thing is humongous, so I like it because it makes me think of a two-handed blade. Another thing too, yeah, it's just over here. So, this is kind of a little bit of a story about what ended up happening with, like, the mob farm and everything like that. Because, you know, like I said, our first mob farm ended up getting destroyed, and then I found out afterwards that you can end up just picking up mob spawners. So we'll talk about these areas in a minute, because first, I was exploring with Joe. We were going through this whole area, clearing everything out, found this place, very insane dungeon. the way that it's supposed to generate, I'm pretty sure is just here because that is actually the proper entrance to it, but it ended up generating like outside like this. So we ended up digging in through here. There was a tower over here once upon a time. Me and Joe ended up conquering it. As we were, I was gathering mob spawners, right? So I ended up taking all the mob spawners, completely filling this room over here. Because you gotta think, I ended up getting enough mob spawners for the second base that I showed you all that got hit by the volcano, and then I also had enough left over for my own personal mob farm, which was just in the village over there. Then Joe and me came over here, and this one actually generated pretty cool, albeit it's not really something you can end up living in. We were kind of considering that we would make this our base, but then it was like, nah, it's just too weird. The drawbridge is really, really cool, but yeah, it generated way too far into the ground. Very deadly dungeon. Of course, we're all geared out, so it's, yeah, like we're invincible. And then we came over here and ended up conquering this giant place. And I mean, it was insane, man. And Joe was very experienced with most of it because he kept saying how, oh yeah, I've seen Captain Sparkles do videos of this. And it was just a real blast to go through this place. You know, so many monsters and stuff like that. We actually got a kitchen over here, and we were very much considering that we would make this our new base while we were still looking for a new home, right? And then there was actually a bookcase right over here, and as you go through it, there was all these pressure plates, and there was a whole line of dispensers that ended up having like 64 arrows each. It was insane. We've got arrows for years. Then there was a turtle boss in here. And I ended up going down here, and there was redstone and repeaters all over the place. Like, seriously, whoever designed this dungeon does not know how to optimize redstone, or maybe they were just going as nuts as they could. But needless to say, I ended up stealing a whole bunch of that because I love messing around with redstone. Even though I never really got the chance to on the server, I still really enjoy it. But this place is crazy, man. Like, seriously. So Joe and me came into here and we thought, hey, maybe we would make this our new home. And then we realized it's all gray and gross. That's actually a gigantic light as well, which if you end up coming all the way up here, which normally you gotta go around and around and around and around to kind of spiral your way up top here, there's actually a lever somewhere in there and a bunch of redstone trails that lead to that lamp so you can keep it on. Anyway, you keep going in circles and then eventually you come out here. There's all sorts of tough enemies that spawn once so they don't repeat or anything. And then there's the boss up here, and Joe ended up getting a cool sword from the boss, and then there was just a whole bunch of crazy gear and everything like that, right? And then besides, you can see that I've explored a whole bunch of the world. I ended up going on a journey with Merc down into this desert right over here. And we had some fun. We had some fun stories where, you know, we kept running into one of the creatures like that's there, and it's an armadillo, and we kept saying it was our spirit animal. And then we ended up like, what was it? We ended up burning down this village and saying the armadillo did it and stuff like that. It would have been great to record it. I know. I'm not really the type, like, even though I've got like these fans slash friends that are great people and we have a lot of fun together, I'm not really in the habit of just recording when we're messing around, you know? And that might end up changing sometime in the future where I'll end up doing that, but the biggest reason that I don't record most of this stuff is because there's also a lot of nothing. There's a lot of just wandering around and nothing happening that's interesting, and it's just kind of how it is, you know? But I wanted to clue you all in on everything that's been going on here. Not too many new developments outside of that, everybody. That pretty much covers all of the stories about the server. Outside of some other craziness that's been going on behind the scenes. These rift doors, too, fun fact, you can actually take them. I'll show you this right here if you haven't already seen it. Sometimes you'll see these randomly spawned in the world, and these actually go into these dungeon areas. And so long as you have a silk touch pick, you can actually mine these blocks that are here. You can't really see them. That's kind of the whole point. But I love these blocks because I was trying to kind of create my own personal home that was going to be something like this. And I never really got around to fully doing it, but I still think that having a place like this in another dimension, even using a rift blade and building your own home inside it, kind of like this, would be so cool, man. Like, seriously. So what this is it's kind of, oh, goodness. Okay. That's kind of weird. You can kind of take them around into different worlds, and Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I didn't know you could take it into the twilight. I'd heard that you could, but I didn't know that it was actually possible. So I think Max was taking this portal to get to and from the twilight and back into our base. And we've explored a little bit of the twilight, not too much. Just over here in this passing, there was, or clearing, I mean, there was actually the Minotaur Labyrinth place, which was okay. We ended up killing the boss and got his axe, which I was reading up isn't that good. It's pretty much the same as a diamond axe, but it has a little bit more attack if you're sprinting with it. The Naga snake creature ended up getting killed like crazy. Don't know about the Hydra. I ended up running into, what is it, the questing ram, and apparently you bring him like one color of each wool and he gives you stuff, which I never got around to actually doing that because dyeing wool is a big chore in this game, and we never really set up any proper farms and stuff like that. But either way, everybody, that's pretty much it. So thanks so much for watching. Thanks for the support on the last video for sure, because all of you were just so kind, and I know that a lot of you really wanted there to be an actual like full Hexit series or some type of Minecraft series. No promises. I might end up doing Minecraft sometime in the future. I've had Minecraft on and off the channel every now and then, but personally speaking, even though I ended up growing up watching Minecraft Let's Players, and I'm still watching like Etho and B-dubs and stuff like that today, it doesn't mean that I've ever had the desire to start my own Minecraft series, because even though I love this game, you know, and this Hexit server, like Hexit itself was actually a lot of fun because it added an adventure aspect, and that's what always was missing to me in Minecraft, was the adventure aspect. Now, there's all this other crazy stuff going on lately. I know there's all that Pixelmon and everything like that, and although it does look interesting to me, the amount of grinding that's involved with it is the biggest reason that it always put me off to play a game like Minecraft, because I dedicate 100% of my time towards my channel and towards all of you and delivering top quality content the best that I can, right? I don't know if I have the time outside of all of that to be grinding ore and doing all this other stuff. Now, granted, I've been doing that kind of off camera here anyways, just for fun, but now it's kind of worn out its welcome for me. So thanks for watching, everybody. I'm rambling now. I very much appreciate it, though. Show your support. Hit that like button for me. Helps me out more than you know. We may end up coming back to Minecraft sometime in the future, but for now, I think I've had my fun with it. Sayonara and stay epic, everybody.